I'm Dina Stewart.
And I'm Stuart Stewart.
And we're syndicatednews.net, live on South Beach. Welcome to our show. This week we have an interesting episode with the mayor of Miami Beach.
Here we are on Lincoln Road, and I'm sitting next to Matti Herrera, who will go into the history books as the first woman mayor of Miami Beach, and I think the first Latin mayor of Miami Beach.
Yes.
And I think the first Latin mayor in the country.
No?
Okay,
no.
Didn't get that one.
No, let's not go that far.
Two out of three isn't bad.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Anyway, when you became the first female mayor, Miami Beach was basically an old boys network, and everybody was just for the boys. I remember another lady commissioner who talked about there wasn't even a restroom for the commissioners.
Goodness, yes, I remember that.
Since you've become mayor, how have you shaken things up?
Well, I don't know that I've shaken things up, but I know that a lot of people have been happy in the sense of having a woman mayor. I think that women as a whole, whenever they see me, they're very happy that I have broken the glass ceiling here in Miami Beach. You know, there has only been, I think, 6 women commissioners in Miami Beach in all the years.
That's what, about 90 years already?
Yeah, 95, I think, already. So it's interesting that such a progressive city did not have more women in the commission.
Why do you think that? You know, that because we have equal rights for everybody. We welcome everybody. We try to accommodate everybody, even when they have strange, attitudes and stuff. But why do you think that women were held back or are being held back here in the city?
I don't know. I think women think it more through. It is really very hard to run for any office. It's hard because your life is out there as a whole. People can go in and all of a sudden you're a public figure, and what happens is everybody can attack you, and women are more protective, I think, of their families. And if you have children, and if you think more about it, and you hesitate a little bit more.
Well, that brings up an amazing thing. You're not just in politics. You're also a mother and a grandmother, and have taken such an active part in the upbringing of your grandchildren. How do you fit that all in?
Well, my grandchildren now are 21, 19, so they're older. But I remember one of the campaigns, I don't remember which one, that my granddaughter kept calling me, even though she might have been 14 or 15 at the time. She used to call me because the hate mail came out. Why are they saying that about you, Grandma, Nanny? They call me Nanny. Why Nanny? Why are they saying that? So it really is a very hurtful thing for the children that do not understand the politics at all. So it is hard for women to run, particularly if they have families.
And unfortunately, in this town, when somebody runs for office and it really has nothing to say, they just attack the other person rather than give a positive spin to things and show what they might be able to do. And that's sort of sad. People are aware of it, and nobody is getting away with it lately, but still some people persist in doing this.
Yes, but we have shown, particularly here in Miami Beach, we have shown that we have very intelligent voters that understand what's going on, and when people just attack, they finally ignore them. Because right now they're doing that, and we all ignore it, trying to see if it goes away. It probably won't, but that's okay.
Well, now I got to ask you some mayor questions.
Okay, good.
Okay. I got a few emails from people who have had experiences with the police department. And it's not that they had bad experiences, it's just that they felt the way they were spoken to by the police department made them feel bad for even asking questions like what's going on, or can I get through, or something like that. Do you think there's a need to sort of sit down with the various police and show them that the way they're approaching the public is not only offending people, but it's putting people off, and a lot of people are starting to feel that this isn't the greatest police force in the world, and they are. They're one of the best, and it's a public relations problem.
Yes, I know that. I get the complaints also. We are doing more training, and that's what it needs, education on how to treat the people. And we're doing more of that. As you know, we've had a few incidents and we've addressed them very seriously so that we send a message that the police in Miami Beach needs to be a good police force, a great police force, an excellent police force, that we are not going to tolerate anything but excellency.
And also a polite police force.
Well, I was going to say, and the training would go into being more polite. We had the same thing happen back before I was elected, even as a commissioner. We had a police force and we went into intense training and we changed that around. So hopefully this will change it around too.
Well, okay, I have one other question. During Memorial Day weekend, Miami Beach was very much in the news because of the Urban Beach Week. Now this was, there were really two things. There was a shooting, and that was one incident, but the real issue was that 250,000 people decided they were all going to go to Miami Beach the same week, and they did it through social networking rather than through organizations, and suddenly there were all of these people in an area that's about 3 blocks wide and 10 blocks long with nothing to do but to hang out. And when that happens, that's a recipe for something bad to happen. And sure enough, a local man who makes his living by photographing a boa constrictor around tourists walked into the crowd, and it created a stampede, and so, you know, innocent people got hurt, and it was really nobody's fault, and there was no way to foresee this. Is there a strategy being developed now so that if and when this happens again, we can avoid people, you know, getting hurt?
There's never a real strategy to avoid people getting hurt, particularly when we have so many people descending in a 3-block area. You know, as you know, I have done Art Deco Weekend. They used to bring about 150,000 people into the area. We tried to, we excluded, and we did not, it was illegal to bring the snake into the area because of that. A lot of people are afraid of snakes. A lot of people like them, but a lot of people are afraid of snakes. So I think that we have to look at that particular thing, but I think that we have to look even further to see how we in certain areas can cap the area for the amount of people that we have. And that's a kind of hard thing to do because it's a public street. So we have to figure that one out, and the staff is looking at that right now. How is it that we could address those issues? I think enforcing stronger the laws is something that we need to do. And there's a lot of people coming through wanting to do events, but we have tried that and it did not work. And so we're not quite sure if that's the thing to do. We tried it outside once and we tried it indoors to try to attract people into the convention center, and they didn't want to go. Actually, people come to Miami Beach to hang out.
Exactly.
And so, you know, that's what is wonderful about Miami Beach. To come and walk Lincoln Road, to come and walk Ocean Drive. So that's what they want to do. Now, the issue is, one year we cut down on the policemen because the prior year they said we had too many. We cut down a few, then it wasn't enough. We put them back. Again, we get them. The residents here said we look like a police state. So, you know, we're never going to make everybody happy.
Exactly.
The best thing would be if less people came. You know, but we can't control that. So we have to enforce the law strongly. We have to move forward and keep trying different things. I have people that have come up with plans for events. There's another commissioner that is talking to someone else about another event. And so we are just trying different things and listening to things to see what we can do. Welcome! How are
Look
you?
who's here. You know, Lincoln Road is to South Beach what Broadway is to New York, and if you hang out long enough, everybody walks on it. And while we were talking to the mayor, we got a surprise visit from Mr. Miami Beach himself.
Michael is called Mr. Miami Beach because we have something on the beach. Instead of talking about the not so good thing, we're going to talk about the very good thing that no one knows. And Miami Beach is probably the only in the country and probably the only in the world that we have 24/7 telephone calls, and they're directed to Michael Allen.
Here's one right now.
And this is about tourism. It's about if a tourist that comes into the city has a problem, he's directed to Michael Aller, and he tries to solve the problems as the problems arise. Isn't that so?
Absolutely.
And he is great at his job because people rave about him from all over the world. I've been to Europe, and I mentioned South Beach. Said, you know Michael Aller? He helped me with a problem.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so
very
you see,
complimentary.
you're world famous, and not just on Miami Beach.
Well, I think that it's important, especially with Mayor Bauer at our head, that we show the world that we care and that we are interested in whatever they need and whatever we can do to assist them in making their stay on Miami Beach even better, and to go home with a great message and to rebook.
I have a philosophical question for both of you. 'Cause
Yeah.
You both lived here a lot longer than even myself, and you've seen how
Only
the changes.
30.
I know, but you've lived here 29 of those 30 years.
Exactly.
And the one consistent thing about Miami Beach is that it's constantly changing and evolving.
It's true.
Now, over the years,
Except for us.
yeah, of course, we all just look and sound the same.
Right.
But over the years, we've seen things happen to the city. What do you think was the best thing that happened to the city, and what do you think might be a path that we didn't travel that might have even gone to greater lengths?
Well, personally, I think that no city in the history of the world has rejuvenated itself and revitalized itself as successfully as Miami Beach has in 20 years. No city. And if you look at all of the improvements, if you take a piece of paper and put down the improvements against the negatives, the positives will overcome all the negatives.
Well, folks, we're at the end of our little interviews.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you to everybody that is looking, listening, and partaking of this event.